Laurence Fox, leader of the Reclaim Party. Our wonderful YouTube viewers, our Talk Radio TV viewers, will have the pleasure of this geezer's face. Not just him, but no doubt the thousands of others who've gathered to march for our freedom. Lawrence, are you there?
How are you? You all right?
I'm good. Just describe to our wonderful listeners now what's happening. It looks busy. It looks electric where you are at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty busy. I'm sat next to Louise, who organises these things, and they hope they're not going to arrest her. The police paid her a visit last week. There's about 10 people here.
Yes. It looks like there's only 10 people. That's what you're reading the BBC, is it, Lawrence?
Maybe 10 or 11, I'd say. Yeah.
I mean, our YouTube viewers will be able to see that there's a heck of a lot more than that. What are the realistic numbers are we expecting, Lawrence?
I think they're going to be record numbers, mate. I think they're going to be, I don't know, a certain person may have hired a helicopter to get the numbers. I don't know who that person is, but we'll get an accurate representation of the numbers soon.
Good. So there's going to be, so basically you have hired a helicopter to fly over the anti-lockdown march to get an accurate representation.
I didn't say that. Richard, someone else did.
Someone else has done. But either way, there's going to be a helicopter up to try and make sure we get an accurate representation. And look, if people weren't clear enough already, look, why are you doing this, Lawrence? Why are the tens of thousands of people doing this? Why is it so important for you to be out there today?
Because we have had our liberties taken away from us. And the government, they don't even obey their own rules. So we're sat here watching Matt Hancock fondle some young lassie while you're not allowed to hug your mum and dad. So we're here to demand a full, final and permanent return of our liberty. That's why we're here, and we're not going to stop until we get it back.
Well, I think it might be just around the corner, Lawrence, because I think the notion now, really, that we have to do stuff like wear a mask in Tesco's or all of this stuff. Look, as long as the laws exist, then they're there. But, it's lost all credibility, hasn't it? Now, like you've mentioned there, Matt Hancock, you've got to extend our lockdown restrictions by 4 weeks because it's far too dangerous for us to unlock. But, I mean, let's be honest, it's not too dangerous for him to go and kiss his top aide, is it?
Yeah, no, he was track and tracing her tonsils like it was going out of fashion, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, maybe, and it looks like he got pinged as well, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yes, no. But this is it, isn't it? I mean, I think, look, people have had enough now, Lawrence, haven't they? And it looks like you're surrounded by a lot of like-minded individuals there.
Yeah, people have had enough. And you know what this is like, which is so amazing? This is like hanging out with normal people. Not the ones you walk up to in the supermarket and go, "Where's your mask?" And you're just like, "Why are you? Leave me alone, mate. Don't wear any stupid mask if you want to wear a mask. I'm going to get on with my life. My life is not your business." And the government have made our lives their business, and they're hypocritical bunch of idiots.
So where is this march taking place now? If people are listening to this show, and of course I must stress that you should all remain shackled to your radios and listen to Trisha Goddard, who comes after me. But if they did want to go and join a march, Lawrence, where could they go?
They head towards Speaker's Corner, but we're going to be off in about 25 minutes, and it's various points of interest along the way.
Good
And bring a tennis ball.
Bring it. Yeah, okay, all right. What's the police presence like? What's the situation like there? Are we expecting any trouble or anything?
Well, the problem is there are too many people for the police to do anything about. So they've worked that out. And this is a peaceful protest. People are incredibly peaceful here. So I think the police will leave us alone.
Well, fingers crossed the police do leave us alone. I suppose, Lawrence, I'd just like you to kind of leave us a little bit really with a message to Boris Johnson from your crowd there. What's your message now directly to him, speaking directly to the Prime Minister?
Boris, you better sack Hancock by Monday, mate, because we can't have our health secretary in office who's broken the rules that he has made us adhere to. So get rid of your health secretary, do everyone a favour.
Yeah, I think I've said not a bad message, and I think it's certainly one that's being shared widely by basically everyone who's getting in touch on our tweets, on our texts, on our calls, and it's the calls that we're going to go to soon. Lawrence, thank you very much for giving us a sneak peek, a preview for this anti-lockdown march. You might not see this elsewhere, but you'll definitely see it here on Talk Radio, and that someone, although being a bit coy about who, but just so we get an accurate representation of the numbers, no doubt many thousands of people who are going on this anti-lockdown march. Laurence Fox, or someone I think it's fair to say maybe close to Laurence Fox, has hired an actual helicopter that's going to fly over it so you can get a serious gauge on the numbers. Now, I just wonder now if now more than ever, when the anti-lockdown marches started, right, I think there were quite a few people, weren't there, saying, is this a bunch of, Fruit Loops and loonies who don't agree with the fact that maybe they're conspiracy theorists, some of these people. Maybe they don't have any regard for public health. Maybe it's all right that they're fit and healthy and they don't fear coronavirus, but maybe they're helping to spread the thing around like wildfire. And okay, all right, part of me maybe bought that a little bit at the start. But now we've got vaccines coming out of our ears. We've seen, basically, the death rate has plateaued, if not been almost entirely reduced pretty much. But then here's the real kicker, isn't it? And it's what we spoke about throughout the show. It's what we're speaking about throughout the show. And it's what we're going to the phones on very shortly. 03 444 99 1000 to you to give you the final word on this. Now that Matt Hancock has been pictured, videoed in fact, playing tonsil tennis with his top aide, a woman who he employed, he gave a job to, he gave some taxpayer money to, of course he did, that's what they do. I was going to say jobs for the boys, but it's not quite, is it? Jobs for the boys and girls, now in the Conservative Party, apparently. Now that he's been pictured doing that, Matt Hancock, a man who thought that we should not hug relatives over Christmas, a man who thought, we should slam the hospitality sector shut, a man who thought, are you a musician who earns his trade or her trade by going around pubs and playing? Yeah, you know what? You can be unemployed forever now. You can sign on. A man who can sign a load of people to the unemployment scrap heap. And actually, quite significant mental health issues as well. I mean, the mental health, it's a crisis. The number of alcohol-related deaths have gone through the roof in the last year. Is it any coincidence whatsoever that it's because we're all locked down? Our lives have been essentially taken from us. But Matt Hancock can go out and essentially behave however he wants and not apologise for it. I don't care what he's going to bang on and go, I did apologise. That's not an apology, Matt. That's not an apology. You didn't apologise to your wife and kids. You basically asked to be left alone. We're not leaving you alone here on Talk Radio. In fact, we're getting bang stuck into you, Matt Hancock, because I think you've been seriously out of order. And we're asking the big question, aren't we? Is it enough for him to resign, which he isn't? Is it enough for him to be sacked, which Boris isn't going to do, presumably because Boris doesn't want to sack someone for cheating on their wife because, it's Boris? Actually, should the police be knocking on Matt Hancock's door? When we come back, we're hearing a lot from you. 03 444 99 1000. He's got to go, hasn't he? Patrick Christie's Talk Radio.